since I posted a video for you guys to digest. Welcome back, Starseeds, Musical Voyagers. It's been a crazy journey for myself. The main reason I haven't done videos is I simply just haven't had enough time. Now, everybody uses the excuse, oh, I'm so busy, I can't, Legitimately, I moved out of Utah, and I'm down here in California now, trying to find myself and my family a home. I really wanted to kind of recap the last couple months, recap the whole energy thing going on right now. We're obviously in a time of great changing, great awakening all over the planet, and that also means massive adjustments come from within and from without. So as you change your core frequency and your vibration and you step into the true version of yourself, and you become more conscious and self-aware of who you are as a being, massive shifts start to change in your life as well to reflect that. So for me, it's just once something gets pushed out of my vibration field, people, places, things, it moves pretty quickly. You might notice that if certain people are just, I guess you could say, are vibing out of your life, they just become less and less relevant. You hardly ever see them. You try to set things up, it never works out. Little subtle things like that is a big clue that maybe it's time to move on. Because people come and go in your life, even family and friends and all that. I mean, it's sad when you have your own family and you're not a vibrational match, but if they don't respect you, it's time for them to go. But you gotta take back your own power, and you can't let other people have power over you. Now, if you go and try out a place to live, like I tried living out in Utah for a little over a year, and so my wife and I and the kids, we went up there and rented a place from one of her friends, and we thought we'd give it a shot. It wasn't really for us. We just didn't. We felt really alienated, and I tried to make the best of it. We went out in nature as much as we could. But the big problem was that we had a lot of allergies. I've talked about in some of my other videos about chemical sensitivity, and both of us got that because we were poisoned by mold back in 2012, 2013, and so we've been hypersensitive after we more or less recovered. We've been hypersensitive to chemicals and pollution and things like that. So in a sense, being chemically sensitive forced us to be self-aware, and it was kind of a catalyst toward my awakening and ascension. And so those traumatic events can help spur you into the next chapter of your life. So I learned a lot about living in Utah, and I learned just how screwed up we really truly are, California, Utah, the environmental regulations are very different, even though it's in the same country. It's very, very different. For example, they allow fireworks, personal use fireworks around 4th of July, and the amount of smoke and haze and pollution is unbelievable. In most places in California, they don't allow personal use fireworks. So because of that, we had a lot of allergies to the fireworks smoke, and it really kind of set the tone that, hey, we really don't want to be in this kind of environment. And I later found out that firework smoke pollution accounts for about 50% or more of the metals, toxic metal discharge in the northern Osage region over in northern Utah. So we really just knew that when the time came, it was time for us to get the hell out of there. And that's exactly what we did. We boogied. I came back down to my hometown here in California, and this is a story I probably have never shared before, but I want to get into it briefly. Just because everything is said and done now. My daughter passed away in 2016, on August 3rd, 2016, from corded window blinds in a rental house in southern Arizona. And at the time, we really had no idea about the dangers of window blinds because we had never installed or dealt with blinds. I usually always had curtains in my homes, so I never had any experience with window blinds. And I didn't think to check the window blinds when making my daughter's room safe. And so, yeah, it's just really hard for me still. Long story short, she passed away, and my wife and I were at home, literally in the other room, hanging out with my brother-in-law, and he went to go see her, so her uncle went to go see my daughter in the other room, and she was already hanging, and so of course he screamed out, and my wife and I, we had to immediately bolt into the room and, find her hanging. And we tried to resuscitate her after we brought her to the living room and quickly got her down and all that. And of course the paramedics and police and everybody arrived in short order. And we were just in complete utter shock. The whole family was obviously in complete shock for, extended periods of time. I don't know. I guess you could say I'm still in shock, but I've coped a lot better. It's also been, this negative event has been a huge catalyst in my awakening and understanding, more of the life and death cycle. And using those traumatic events can help you, still raise up from the ashes. I feel that, sometimes it takes serious emotional trauma or emotional injury like that, losing a child or even losing anyone that's near to you, it can take a long time to heal. I haven't really spoke out about this, I've spoke out a little bit on Facebook when it happened, but I don't have a Facebook anymore, so I really haven't spent any time speaking about it. But I encourage anybody who's ever been involved in a traumatic, death of a family member or anything like that to reach out to an attorney and, have them review your case and, get justice, because corporations will keep doing the same shit over and over again if you let them, In this case, they'd been sued a myriad of times, and finally, the CPSC, the Consumer Product Safety Commission, finally issued, some changes to go into effect for window coverings and window blinds to go cordless after years of lawsuits, millions of dollars of verdicts and lawsuits and all that. They're finally getting the push to change because enough children have died and enough settlements have been paid. We're finally motivated. It's kind of like every negative product out there. They always say it's safe, and then the casualties start rolling in, and that's one way if you want to make a massive change. I know it sounds like, oh, don't trust lawyers, or no, there's some really great attorneys out there that are fighting the good fight with you, and that's, those are pivotal things that can happen. Lawsuits can change the world if done properly for the right reasons. And allowing corporations to get away with making shitty, dangerous products that, harm or maim children and people is just unacceptable. So if you ever put in a situation where a product hurts you or your family, it's just straight up wrong, bad karma to not go after a corporation in this instance. It's been 3 years since this whole thing unfolded, and yeah, it was very traumatic, and it's still hard for us and all that, but we've gotten through it a lot. It's been some time. Time heals everything. and it's really helped us move forward in this time of great stress. But here I am. I'm still alive. I'm still kicking, and you're still watching my videos, which is awesome. And if there's some darkness that sometimes has to come out for that positivity. For every darkness there was a light that will shine to illuminate that darkness. It's just how we live in this world of duality. It's the yin and the yang, up and the down. This is just how duality works. So a lot of times a very negative experience in your life can bring about profound change to bring a more positive or enlightened direction in your own soul. So like on a spiritual level, it wakes you up. You go, oh my God, and mortality really sets in. It really sinks in, and you might have a spiritual awakening from that experience. So it can be, these negative experiences can be very beneficial. They can be your lantern in the darkness, and will help you, guide you to your own self-crafted, self-fulfilling destiny. Create the greatest version of yourself. You become stronger. There is truth. What doesn't kill you does make you stronger. In this case, that's exactly what has happened. I'll never forget my daughter and how much I miss her, and I'm grateful for the children I do have, and I use it as an experience to take a big look at the big picture. And there's still going to be pain and trauma. That's just part of being human. It's part about having human emotion. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. Sometimes there's going to be really horrible downs, and then there'll be really good times in your life. It's just up and down roller coaster. We can all get through it though, and that's part of through your own ascension. It's how you perceive the negative event. It's how it will help you. Sure, I could have went on an infinite downward spiral after my daughter passed away, and it never started making YouTube videos and just crawled in a hole, and never went and lived life and experienced the good things I do have in my life. So, there's always two ways you can go. There's always multiple ways you can make this reality. You can choose the path you want to choose. And, I looked at it like, do I want to let it destroy me, or do I want to let it build me up and become a better person? I simply just haven't had enough time to really sit down and really think about new videos, but I did want to recap August and September's energy and this great time of transition. I mean, you could call it, look at it like transition, is like a gradual thing that happens, and then sometimes there's spikes when there's rapid transition, and then there's slower times of transition. I want to say July, August, September was like whoosh, like a big raise up in consciousness. A lot of things are coming to light. A lot of everyday people are starting to step into their skin and realize there's more to life than we've been told. There's a big jump in consciousness. We had a lot of series of powerful celestial alignments, full moons, blood moons, all that. We had the Lion's Gate starting in August, and then we moved into the full moon at the end of the month, and that jump over between August and September was just massive, even for myself. I mean, you literally feel like you're going into metamorphosis. Just like a caterpillar had been gathering knowledge for, you could look at the caterpillar eating is gathering knowledge, because food is knowledge. It's kind of like just like a play on words. The caterpillar eats until it has received enough food or information to finally, go into a cocoon stage, which I went into, and probably many of you went into, and then you go into your metamorphosis as you start to blossom. You're starting to just emerge out of your little cocoon and take flight. And it's kind of an exhilarating experience. And for a lot of us, that happened in August and September. We spread our wings and really took flight. And you're armed with all the knowledge that you've gathered, over the last several years. If you've been going through awakening, that's how it was for me along my journey. My process of awakening has been pretty much more or less been started in 2010, and it's really picked up steam since about 2015. It just went, just rocket ship. And then it would go up really fast and then kind of stabilize a little bit. I'd have to figure things out. And then it would take off again, and now that's where it's at now. I'm going through a huge, massive change. I changed my environment. I changed so many things about my life. I fine-tuned my diet. You're just finding your way in life, just like we all do. But in this way, I'm finding it, more aligned with soul and less aligned with, ego and the I am myself mode. More like the I am everything. I am the wind between the trees. I am like infinite. You become your infinite self when you connect to your inner source through meditation and eating a healthy diet and spending time in nature, grounding, walks, beach, whatever, whatever. Everybody finds their little piece of nirvana. And those are the moments that help you connect to your source, yourself. And, that's where I'm at right now. And it's been really hectic and a ton of changes have been going on. I'm just like, oh my gosh, how the hell am I supposed to compute all this? But, you know what? It's turning out really beautiful in ways I never expected. And that's how it will happen. You can kind of have a fuzzy vision of how it's going to be, but one thing leads to the next, and you start driving yourself through your intention. When you start to meditate, you set your intention, and as you set your intention, you purify your intention, and you resolve the negative trauma that comes up to the surface, and you just skim it off and work with it as it comes. A lot of us, we're so focused on the future, we're so focused on the past, we fail to live in the moment and just accept things as they bubble up. Deal with that one thing, move on to the next, instead of trying to overload ourselves. Oh my God, I got 50,000 things going on, and this needs to be done, this. We gotta slow down, we gotta check ourselves before we wreck ourselves, have a new pace of life. So, and it's a very, very beautiful experience when you do. When you start meditating and you just tap into your core frequency, you become more in line with the universe at that moment. Because the collective consciousness gives us the power of memory and recollection, but it also makes us think ahead or tries to create a reality or experience ahead of ourselves. And sometimes we get too wrapped up in it and we forget the moment at hand. And the moment at hand is the only moment that matters the most. The moment that has passed and the moment that could be are completely irrelevant to the moment at hand, because if you're wasting the moment at hand focusing on the future or the past, you've then wasted the moment at hand. And the moment at hand is where the miracle and magic happens. So we have to, through meditation and breathing, walks, grounding, nature experiences, whatever you find your peace of mind, peace of spirit, will help you align to your core frequency and your true self, true divine self. And so that's my message, and that not to allow trauma to burden you. Use it as, wow, I got through that. I am a fucking beast. I'm a rock star. I can't believe it, but I did it. I'm getting through it. I'm still here. It's never the fight is never over until it's over. Until you're the dog who's walked your day. It's never over. So there's always hope. There's always a chance, even if you're feeling really depressed and down, and you've had a lot of share of negative things happen in your life, and you may not fully understand the big picture of what the universe is trying to throw at you. There's hope, and you can start to create a reality worth living in. And it all begins in the mind. Mindset is key. Some of the happiest people are some of the most destitute. They might be fucking homeless and have no money, and they're just like, they're just overjoyed. And then there's people that have millions of dollars and could buy anything and at anything at any time, and they're still not happy because their mindset is fucked up. And a lot of us on the planet are living with that fucked up mindset that we don't have the capability of miracle, and that we don't realize that the power is in our hands. We externalize our energetic power. We think that things happen to us rather than we unfold the path before us through our intention. And so that's one of those things that, helps us build our life in the direction we want to live. So, more or less, that's my spiel for the day. But a good piece of music to listen to would be Drive by Incubus. It's a little bit of an older song by Incubus. And one of the lyrics, it says, "When I drive myself, my light is found." When you start driving your intention day by day, you become more in alignment with your true self, you'll start to see these things, miracles, happen every day. You'll start to see things that you thought would never be possible when you get more in alignment through meditation, eating right, having the correct mindset, just letting go of negative things that no longer serve you, habits, people, places. It's okay to just let shit go. You don't have to be wrapped up in a particular mind state, because the mind state can create you or destroy you. And it's just very, very pivotal. A lot of people on the planet don't realize just how fundamental that is. They just think that they can buy themselves into happiness, they can throw themselves into a relationship to depend on happiness from that person. The happiness aspect comes from your reaction to a situation. So joy is simplicity. And if you're expecting others to please you, to entertain you, and to create something that you don't feel or align with yourself, you're never going to be happy. You're always going to be chasing the grass is greener mentality. Oh, I'll go here, and this will make me happy. I'll do this will make me happy. This person will make me happy. And really, you're just running from yourself, so then you end up running like a chicken with its head cut off in circles, never finding your true purpose. So, I feel like I wish that people told me that piece of wisdom as I had gone through my journey in life, and that you create your own degree of joy. The external events really don't create joy. If it is, it's not lasting fulfillment. It's just like a temporary, rush, and that's what, people that have addictions to things, they get a temporary rush to, displace a whole lack of self-worth. A lot of what boils down to is they lack self-value and self-worth, and so therefore they depend on some kind of addictive tendency of, whether that could be anything. It could be food, it could be substances, it could be video games, whatever. They find something to tie themselves up into because they don't want to face the truth of their own existence. Addictions and all that shit become completely irrelevant. You no longer struggle with any of that stuff if you start to drive yourself in the direction you see fit instead of running from yourself. You do the work on yourself. Meditation, grounding, just like I've said many times in many other videos. And that's going to help drive you in the direction that you want to see. And it's absolutely critical you do the self-work and don't just distract yourself with mindless distractions while ignoring who you are. Because a lot of us, I think, on this planet don't even know who the hell they are or what they're capable of. They just kind of sit there and turn on the TV or some kind of distraction and just forget about who we really are. We just externalize our power rather than doing the self-work and the meditation to really align ourselves to our greatest potential. So you want to become the greatest version of yourself as your offspring, I would say. because that's when you're becoming a service to others. You start to become, your work and what you do becomes fulfilling as you move into a direction of manifestation. You begin to manifest the things that you really truly want by not creating the vibration of want. You create the vibration of abundance. Once you create the vibration of abundance, things just come to you. You don't even have to try. Like, that's how, like, some people are just so happy these things literally fall in their lap. It's like effortless. I think we live in an era of ultra effortless manifestation, and I think millions of people all over the planet are discovering this truth about themselves that you think a thought becomes a reality if you put your attention to it, the truth behind it, and what you feed your subconscious is your belief system. Your belief system is the programs running in the background. Well, the programs running in the background are what paint the reality you see. So if you always believe negative, you're telling your subconscious that the entire world is negative and out to get you, then you're going to attract those experiences that make you think that the world is out to get you. And it's really not like that at all. If anything, it's neutral. We live in duality. Either side of the plane, there's some people having an amazing enlightened experience, and there's a lot of us having a very negative, dark experience. And we're all in the same plane of existence here. It's just that we have that choice of the life we wish to create through our intentions, our actions, how we want to be is in our power. We're not helpless and blind and just swimming through, nothing. We have the power of intention and capability to just create the world, the life we wish. We can create the world worth living in by creating it in ourselves, individual level. So once we do the personal work, then it reflects in our outer reality. And so you'll start to see that as you go further and further down your journey, and that's how it was for me. You begin to paint the reality worth living by your intention and your manifestation and aligning yourself to your core frequency. So if you're out of alignment, things are going to be chaotic and crazy and disorganized. And I think that happens to a lot of people. They're just straight up out of alignment. They're thinking extremely negative thoughts, and they believe that the world is out to get them. And it's simply not like that at all. And that's something that you have to work on yourself. And you find that through meditation. You start small, do great breathing exercises, just spend time alone. Don't chase anything or anybody, because chasing will lead to lack. And I think a lot of us have that fear of lack or that fear of loneliness because we're not comfortable in our own skin. We're not comfortable who we are. Because when you're truly comfortable who you are, you don't really give a shit if people think like you. You don't really care about being part of the crowd or being what's quote normal. Quite frankly, the quote normal is abnormal in today's world. We live in a very sick planet, sick people that think that we must all think like each other and have no diversity. And that's a really unhealthy mentality that really just has to go the wayside. Once we get past that mentality of self-victimization and get past the mentality of being alone or having to have the crowd around just to keep somebody around, you start to become enjoyed by the simple things in life. You don't really care about any of that shit. You're just able to walk down the street, hum to yourself, do your thing, and be enjoyed about it. Simplicity is joy. We overcomplicate our lives and our existence just to give ourselves meaning, which really isn't the meaning. The meaning is to serve and help others, along their path, and they in return serve and help you. We kind of work together as like a body of action. Think of the body of cells in your body. They all work together to create your existence. That's how the human race has to come together to work together as like a body to help the planet heal, and that's when we'll have a lot less chaos and destruction on our planet. And it's slowly starting to happen. We're slowly starting to see that. People and even nations and political leaders are even starting to catch this. that we don't want war, we don't want violence, we just want to get along and prosper and create abundance. And there's people in places that, let's just put it this way, there are people in the right places at the wrong time. There are the wrong people in the right places at the wrong time that are trying to manipulate, humanity, and we can call them secret societies, whatever. It's irrelevant who or what they call them. The point is, they're an obstacle that we are here to observe from the exterior that is not a hindrance, but it's another aspect of duality. And these groups of people are trying to keep us in a lower state of vibration. They don't want people to wake up. They don't want anyone to become self-aware because it doesn't serve their interests. Control people that are on a power trip, they just want to control and infinitely control. The dictator mentality is just control. Control freaks. And so that's a dying breed, thankfully. We're seeing a lot less of that, especially in the younger generation. Each generation just becomes more compassionate, more understanding, and less interested in control, less interested in manipulation and coercion. They just want to allow people to just be. And embracing the aspect of just being is just the best thing. There's no other way around it except to just be. And as we all try to find that inner zen, on that pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of happiness should ultimately lead you to yourself. So, anyway, I know this was a crazily long video with a lot of ramble and a buck ton of information to absorb, but watch it 2 or 3 times. Skip back in segments just to catch back some information that I put out there. And I love hearing your guys' comments. I know this channel is still pretty small, and I have just barely started to let it blossom, but I'm moving in that direction of sharing myself, my experiences out there in the world. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. You should check out this really cool book. You should definitely check out the book called Autobiography of a Yogi. Probably the best book you'll ever read. It's the only book that Steve Jobs had on his devices. When you read the book, how profound and life-changing it is, you will understand. As you start to read it, it's definitely a mystical story from a yogi from the early 20th century, and it will blow your mind. Just reading that book. I could go on all day about how amazing this book is, but you should probably just read it for yourself. Find an ebook, get it on Amazon. There's a free audio trial version of it or whatever. There's ways to find it. And it's a very, very profound read, and I think you guys would really like it if you haven't already heard of it or read it. So look up Autobiography of a Yogi. I'll put it in the link in the description. So here I am, out in nature. You see this beautiful little hedge, and get outside, find yourself. And thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.